The first thing that I want you to understand when you're dealing with a problem like this and you have transformations is to understand the parent function, y equals the square root of x. That graph is going to look something like this. So what we need to understand is what exactly are my transformations that are now being applied to this graph, so therefore I can graph it as well as identify the domain in the range. And I'm actually going to add an extra transformation here, -4. So we have the domain, or we have this initial function, right? There's no transformations going on. That's why we call this the parent graph. It's basically the initial form of our function. But the domain here is going to be the set of all x values, which is going to be all positive x values. So that's going to be from 0 to infinity. The range is going to be a set of all y values that make up this graph, and that's going to be from 0 to infinity, right? So you can basically say, like, pick any point, right? That's an x and that's a y. So when we're talking about the domain, it's the set of all x values that make up this graph, which is all positive numbers going to infinity. And for the range, it's going to be all positive y values that are going to be making up this graph. So what do we do then when we have this? Because we have some transformations, right? You can see that there's a couple things going on. We have a negative, we have multiplying by 2, we have adding 3, and we have a -4. So the first thing I want you to kind of understand about this problem is to recognize what is the difference between these transformations. I want you to recognize a relationship here. These are both adding and subtracting, right? So adding and subtracting are going to be shifting our graph up and down as well as left and right. These two transformations are multiplying, right? You're technically multiplying by a -1 as well as multiplying by 2. When you're multiplying, what you're doing is you're going to be dilating the graph. They can either be a reflection or you're going to be stretching and compressing the graph. All right, so that's going to happen with the multiplication, and then transformation is going to be addition and subtraction. Now, there's another relationship that I want you to recognize. Notice how these two products and the 4 are what we call outside of the square root. Those are going to be transformations that are vertically applied, and this is going to be under the square root, so this is going to be horizontally applied, or a left or right type of transformation. The cool thing about the dilation is dilations, guys, do not affect the domain in the range of at least the square root function, right? Because if I was like, I want you to think about this. If I was to take this graph and I was like, let's say vertically, compress it, is the domain range still the same? Yeah. What about if I vertically stretch it, right? Or horizontally compress it? It's still exactly the same domain and range. So this 2 is not going to impact my domain and range at all. However, the negative is, right? So again, this negative is on the outside. That means it's a vertical reflection. So type of reflection would be vertical, one that is across the x-axis. So this graph is now going to be going down. That is important. So we have the orientation now is going to look something like this. Now again, we have to apply our transformations before we get to our domain and range, but it's very important to recognize that the negative reflected the graph about the x-axis, okay? Now we need to recognize, well, what is the 3 and the -4? So 3 is going to be shifting the graph 3 units to the left, and because remember, that's horizontal, and when it's a +3, just think always the opposite. So that's why we're going to be moving 3 units to the left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this coordinate point of my parent graph, 0, 0, and I'm going to shift it 3 units to the left. Now, if you're like, what about, should it be to the right? It's positive. I'm going to get to that in just a second. So I'm going to move this point 3 units to the left. That's going to be applying my horizontal transformation. And then we're going to apply my vertical transformation. Now, vertical transformations are in the form of if it's positive or negative. So since this is a -4, that is actually going to be the shifting the graph down 4 units. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. So my coordinate point from 0, 0, where my endpoint has now been shifted left 3 units, down 4 units. Then remember what the orientation looks like. It's going to be going downwards. Now, some students might say, well, what about the 2? Yeah, that is a vertical stretch of 2, right? But again, remember, it doesn't impact the domain. Unless your teacher is like really strict on how your graph looks, like I usually didn't care as much as long as my students like recognize or could understand that's what's happening. If we were using a graphing calculator or we're using graph paper, that might be a little different story. I just want my students to be able to understand the transformations and to be able to label them. So I know the graph is going to look something like this. Before we go and get to the domain range, some students are like, why isn't it over 3, right? Why isn't it like this, right? Because shouldn't that be moved to 3? So again, let's just go and pick a number, okay? Pick any number. Now, the number that I would pick is what number would make my radicand 0, right? That's usually an easy number to kind of start with. That'd be -3. So when x equals -3, so x equals -3 is not even part of this solution. But what about when x equals -3? Am I going to get a -4? Let's check it out. So -3 plus 3 is going to be a 0. 0 times -2 is 0. 0 minus 4 is -4. So you can see that this coordinate point, -3, -4 is confirmed. Like that is the point that's on my graph, right? So don't shift it 3 units to the right because that is not the right graph. If you were to plug in 3, you would have square root of 6, right? Times negative 2 minus 4. It's not 4, right? Square root of 6 times negative 2 minus 4 is not negative 4. There, so you can just confirm if you are not sure if you got that right. So I'm going to erase this so we don't confuse that one. So now let's go and identify the domain and range. Remember, guys, from over here, the domain is a set of all x values. So that's going to be how far basically to the left does the graph go to how far to the right. Well, you can see here that the domain goes all the way to negative 3 and then keeps on going to infinity. Negative 3 is included. So therefore, we're going to use a bracket, and that's going to go to infinity. Then let's go and take a look at the range. The range is going to be the set of all y values. Basically, how low does the graph go to how high? This graph is actually going to keep on getting lower and lower and lower. So we can say this is going to go from negative infinity to how high is this graph going to go? You can see the highest point it goes, right, is going to be at a negative 4, which is included. So we're going to go ahead and use my brackets. Now, I love this problem because we had transformations as well as dilations. But what about if we have dilations on the outside as well as on the inside? How does that impact your graph? I'll come up in the next video.